Cam, y'all wild. Cam and him. He says soon. Y'all wild. I know the song says soon and very soon. We are gonna see the king. Soon and very soon. We are gonna see the king. But hold up. Hold up. Tim, as much as I am Team Tim, Team Mom also, but as much as I am Team Tim, Tim, you are not the king. Tim, you might be the head of the household. You might be the master of your domain. Uncle Tim. You might be Pastor Tim. Evangelist Tim. You might be Governor Tim. IAG Savior. IAG God. And that's the GAWD, not the GOD. But you may be IAG God because you already said that you're the governor. And we know that governor is a synonym for God, like the highest authority figure in a setting. Okay, so you may be the governor, the self-appointed governor, but you're not the king. All right, but I digress. Let me get back on track for a moment. I just kind of lost it. But welcome back to the end game. I'm going to try to give you guys a real quick review of the latest IAG or Resurrection Ranch video that just dropped. It was actually Resurrection Ranch video, and it was the one where they were installing the baseboards on the shoe molding in Amazing Grace. And I just want to remind you guys, considering that I'm Team Tim, we're not going to be dragging Uncle Tim. We're not going to be bashing Uncle Tim. We're not going to have that. I'm not going to tolerate that. All right. And so even though Tim said that an elephant, the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time, we're not going to have you guys just eating up Tim, eating away at him little by little. But one thing that we will notice in this particular video is that apparently some of the voices of you critics, or as he calls you, haters, but some of the voice of his critics have impacted him at least a bit. And that we would say is a good thing, right? And so what we noticed at the opening of this video is that they're going right to work.
All right, y'all, it's the Resurrection Ranch. We're still all about God. As y'all see, we jumped right into the work today. And we got the trim put around the door jambs because and that's just what we're doing in the living area. Because in the rest of the rooms, we're going to leave the trim. As y'all see, we jumped right into the work today.
As far as the video, the footage goes, they're going right to work. It doesn't start with Tim giving a brief sermon or talking about how great he is or what have you. And although some of us look forward to that, some of us Team Tim members, we look forward to Tim boasting about himself. He doesn't start like that on this particular video. He doesn't start by talking about his success or talking about how great he is. He doesn't start with those points. They start out working as far as the video goes. And you can see them going at it diligently, working on putting in the baseboarding. And then later on in the video, he actually breaks out and he tells us that, okay, well, we're going to go about the work. We're not going to do much talking. Now, what that tells me is that he has been hearing the voices of some of you critics. And I'm going to tell you guys, from a Team Tim perspective, y'all need to cut it out. From a Team Mom perspective, though, because I'm also Team Mom, we're going to keep it up. I want you guys to keep that up. Because I think Tim is realizing and recognizing that the more he talks, the more he has a tendency to put his foot in his mouth. When he starts talking biblically and he starts talking about this perceived ministry, the foot goes in the mouth. Sometimes he goes a bit far and he's got both feet in his mouth. And so I think that he realized that the less that he talks, the more that he shows. Like they say, a man would know a man by his works. not by what he says, but by his works. I think Tim remembers or recognizes that the more he works and the less he talks, the better it is for the content that is being presented. Now, at some point in the video where they're doing the baseboarding, he asked Mom how she feels about the progress that's going on and what have you. And she says she likes the progress. She talks about the fact that she's learning. And I can respect that, even at 70, that we're still learning.
What do you think about that experience, Mom?
It's different. Everything I'm doing down here is different.
That's right.
I'm trying to learn, y'all. I'm trying to learn, y'all.
I can respect that. And then from a teen mom perspective, that's a great mindset to always be learning. Now, also from a teen mom perspective, we noticed that in the video, Mom is doing some of the precision saw work, we'll call it. She's hammering some nails. She's doing a little bit of work with the crowbar. She's down on her knees. And she says the experience was sort of interesting. Now, at 70, we want to learn, but we don't really want to break our back in the process. So, Lily, what I would recommend is that you lighten up a little bit on it. You can actually learn from a distance. You can actually observe Tim as he instructs you. I'm sure he's more than willing to be a teacher and to instruct you. But we really don't want to see you down on your knees, working out your knees. Now, Tim has knee pads. I did notice that Lily was down on a pillow or something. So, I guess her knees are padded a bit. But Uncle Tim, if you have knee pads and you're going to have Grandma Lily down on the ground like that for extended periods, she needs to have knee pads as well. Preserve those knees. They got a lot more miles on them than yours do, Tim. Now, Tim, I understand you're carrying a bit more weight. Okay. But Grandma Lily she has more miles on those knees, and we need to kind of protect them and preserve them as long as we can. Now, later in the video, Tim shows some of the results of the baseboarding and what have you. And he said, well, let me know what you guys think. Shoot me an email and let me know what you think.
Once we get the flooring in the kitchen and everything done, we better come in and put that piece there. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all can't leave a comment, but y'all can send emails. So y'all shoot us an email, let me know what it looks like so far. Y'all can't leave a comment. Y'all can't leave a comment. Y'all can't leave a comment.
All right, now from a Team Tim perspective, I say, all right, Tim is open to that feedback. That's my Uncle Tim. But then when he says, send me an email, I think about that a little bit further. I'm like, okay, wait a minute now. Normally, if you're getting hundreds upon hundreds of comments, if people are sending you emails and those same people reach out to you, that means you would be getting hundreds and hundreds of emails. And although you don't have to delete any of those emails like you might delete some negative comments, I would find it hard to believe that you're going to take the time to read through hundreds and hundreds of emails, Uncle Tim. And so I would urge that if you're really interested in that feedback, that you turn those comments back on, Tim. If you're not interested in the feedback, then just carry on as you are.
Yeah, I can't leave a comment.
All right, so they continue with the video. They show them continuing to put in the baseboarding and the shoe molding. And what I noticed is that the baseboarding was put down over the top of the flooring. Now, those of us that have done some flooring in the past, we know that baseboarding should not have gone on top of the flooring. Because what happens is, eventually, you're changing out that flooring. Eventually, okay? If Grandma is blessed enough to see another 30 years, or if the mobile home is passed down to Tim Jr., at some point those floors are going to come up. And you really don't want to have to try to pull those floorboards up, considering that they're anchored with the baseboards. You don't want to try to pull those planks up. So in reality, that baseboarding should have been put down before the flooring. And then you should put the shoe molding around the room on top of the flooring to close off the gaps. Because you can easily pull up the shoe molding or the quarter round. You can't easily pull up that baseboarding. And so I would recommend, especially when you're looking at these other rooms where there has not been flooring installed, go ahead and put that baseboarding down first. And then put down you can easily remove the flooring as needed. Now, in that same token, we did not have to wait for the baseboards to go in before furniture was moved in. Okay, those baseboards can be put in around furniture. Furniture can be shifted; they can be put in place. And so, although that was your plan, Tim, and your master planner, and you come up with the plans, and generally you're kind enough to ask Grandma what she thinks about the plan that you came up with, versus asking her what she thinks would be a good plan. Furniture could have been brought in prior to the baseboarding being installed, right? But at least you were considerate enough. At least you were mindful enough to get the furniture. You were mindful enough to get the toilet and vanity installed, because certainly none of those things are waiting on baseboarding. And so, considering that Mama is trying to move in, and considering that she's been doing a lot of work over there, it would have been nice to have a toilet in place. Okay, so I'm not sure what she's doing. I know she's not going out to the woods. When she has to use the toilet, is she running down to IAG Farms to use the toilet? I know she's not running all the way back home. But immediately after that flooring was installed in the bathroom, Tim, we could have put that toilet in place. Vanity or no vanity, we could have put that toilet in place so that Mom could take care of herself without it being a major event. Hopefully that toilet was installed. I was hopeful that toilet was installed.
But tomorrow we should be rolling, and we're gonna try to get here bright early tomorrow and get back going and get all this finished so we can get on to the next thing, start installing toilets and vanities.
But of course, Tim, as you were going around and showing some of the trim that still need to be completed, we got a glimpse of the bathroom. There's no toilet installed. You indicated that the toilet wasn't installed yet. So I'm not sure that even being on Team Tim, I would agree with the fact that we got to get down baseboarding before we get down the toilet. Okay. All right. And so now later in the video, after they put down the baseboarding, Tim, he indicates to us that Mama's going to go ahead and she's going to sweep up the room. She's going to sweep up all the sawdust and all the debris. And Mom goes about sweeping it up. She's sweeping and sweeping. I'm not sure how long it went because, of course, the video was edited. But Mom did a great job. Great job. Attention to detail, getting up all that sawdust, getting up the bits of wood and what have you. Excellent job of cleaning up the room.
But we always rise up through it all. We get a little wiser. There's things in life you simply need to know. But sun and rain and trust in letting go. It takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and morning, before you make it safely to the end, the end, the end. And if you ever wonder, there is nothing wrong with a little thunder. There's things in life you simply need to know. About sun and rain and trust.
Excellent. Now, that's the kind of work that I would prefer to see for Grandma Lily doing versus her being down on her knees, maybe her hands and knees, working with pulling nails and hammering stuff and what have you. That's the type of work I would prefer to see as her sweeping up the room. Now, the thing that was puzzling for me is that after she swept up the room from the baseboarding, Tim promptly brought in the shoe molding.
All right, y'all, my mom got it back looking good in here. Now it's time to get it back dirty again. Time to let some more sawdust fly and get this shoe molding down. So let's get this shoe molding down. Y'all stay tuned.
We all know, all of us that have not done a little bit of home improvement, we all know that when you start cutting up the shoe molding, you're going to get sawdust and bits all over again. And so some of us might say, especially those of us that are on Team Mom. Now, I'm on both. Remind you, I'm on Team Tim and Team Mom. But some of us that are more biased toward Team Mom might say, why in the world Tim, Uncle Tim, Pastor Tim, son, beloved son, Tim, why in the world would you have your mama sweep up and clean up only to have you go in there and mess up the room all over again?
Now it's time to get it back dirty again. Back dirty again.
Why would we do that? I mean, we're not trying to create busy work for Grandma. I know we're not trying to do that. We're not trying to make Grandma earn her salary. I know we're not trying to do that. So why would we have her sweep up in between, only for the room to be messed up all over again? So that kind of puzzled me a bit. And so they go ahead and they finish the shoe molding, going around the room. And they finish that first room, the living room or what have you. And Tim informs us that they're going to take a break.
What we're about to do now is take a break. And we were going to go ahead and try to get all the baseboard down around the whole house today. But I think what we're going to do is take it like what do they say? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You know. So we're going to take it one bite at a time, one chunk at a time. And instead of going into the other rooms and doing baseboard, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our lunch break, because we're both tired. I know y'all saying, this little old room, this ain't nothing, y'all should be able to finish that all in one day. It's like we're rookies, and we're taking our time to make sure we do it properly. And we're taking our time.
Okay, and he says, well, some of you viewers would say, oh, they only did one room. What do they need a break from? Right? And some viewers might say, well, hold on. Not only did you just do one room, but you actually had the nail gun going. Now, I don't know about you guys, but back in my day, we used to hammer those nails manually. And we would have to sink them manually. And we would cut that molding manually. We would have a miter box, but we do all that stuff manually. And after we did like one room manually, we might need a break. But of course, we know that Pastor Tim is blessed that he has the power tools. And so not much physical labor was going on in that room from Tim's perspective. Now, I can fully understand why Grandma Lily, remember, I'm Team Mom. So I can fully understand why Team Lily might need a break. But just because Team Lily needs a break doesn't mean that Uncle Tim needs a break. So that was a little bit puzzling. And now Tim, he reminded us that, okay, well, even God took a break. So now if God can take a break, then why wouldn't Pastor Tim be able to take a break? Remember, he's the governor. He's the GAWD of IAG and Resurrection Ranch. And so if God, the Heavenly Father, could take a break, why couldn't or why wouldn't Uncle Tim be able to take a break? Now, mind you, God, G-O-D, God was creating the world. Yes? God was creating what? Heaven and earth when he took his break. Tim, you were using a power tool, Tim. And you're using a power saw. And so I don't exactly see the comparison, but so be it. Let's take a break. But from from a Team Tim perspective, I would say be careful, because some people would say, well, of course Tim's taking a break. The reason why he's taking a break is not because he's tired. The reason why he's taking a break is because he's slow rolling the video. He's slow rolling the content. He's dragging the content out as far and as long as he can. So that's what some of the critics, aka haters, would say about you taking a break after doing just one room. And so those are my comments from the latest video. Please let me remind you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe. If you're getting any value, please subscribe so that we can keep this thing going. Until next time.